This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
The Sweet Potato Queen, best-selling author Jill Conner Browne on this edition of Conversations. From Jackson, Mississippi to the New York Times bestseller list, Jill Conner Browne's life experiences and sense of humor have made her a best-selling author and an in-demand speaker. Her books include such titles as American Thighs, The Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Preserving Your Assets, The Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Raising Children for Fun and Profit, and the original Sweet Potato Queen's Book of Love. The Sweet Potato Queen movement has long since expanded outside the South and has now gone global. It may not be too long before the theater world gets an up-close and personal look at Sweet Potato Queens. A Broadway musical is in the works. We welcome to Conversations the #1 Sweet Potato Queen, Jill Conner Browne. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of sweet potatoes in there again. How did the Sweet Potato Queen come about?
Well, I started the Sweet Potato Queens in 1982 in Jackson, Mississippi, where I'm from. I had come through a particularly rough personal patch. My father had died, and I was divorced for the first time. And Daddy always taught us to that one of the most important skills you could have in life was the ability to make your own fun. And a lot of times all you've got to work with is what's between your own ears, and if you're lucky, that's enough. And I've been extraordinarily gifted in that regard. And so in 1982, when I heard there was going to be this parade, and about the same time, a friend of mine had told me that her father had some land in Vardaman, Mississippi, which is the self-proclaimed sweet potato capital of the world. I have no idea if there's anything substantive to that claim or not. That's their story. They're sticking to it. I support them in it, although why, I don't know. But at any rate, she said that Vardaman had a sweet potato festival every year, and I had decided that my lot in life was to be a queen, because my earliest desire was to be 5'2", have long red hair, green eyes, large breasts, little feet, and be able to sing. That did not work out, and but I did discover a few talents that I had, that I could smile, showing nearly every tooth in my head. I could wave, and that people would mind me. And then I happened to see a picture of my mother with Queen Elizabeth, not together. The photos were together. Yeah. They looked identical, and so I decided, that I was intended to be a queen, but there were no openings that I could find. I was seeking employment in that regard, but so when I heard that Vardaman had a sweet potato festival, I asked my girlfriend, I said, well, do they have a queen? And she said she didn't know. I said, well, tell them I'll do it, and I'm looking for a gig. And so that didn't materialize, of course, but that was kind of in my mind when I heard about this parade that was being formed in Jackson, Mississippi. And so I said with no hesitation whatsoever that I was going to be in that as the Sweet Potato Queen, just because I thought it sounded funny and still do. Yeah. So that was born in 1982, and here we are today. There are probably over 6,200 chapters of Sweet Potato Queen wannabe groups in 22 countries. There's a chapter in Saudi Arabia. Their motto is "No veils for us." Gotta love them. Hope they live in a bunker. I'm terrified for them, but they all come from Jackson to Jackson, Mississippi, once a year to dress up funny and walk down the street.
And so it's kind of become like
It's a cult.
A cult.
It is a cult.
What do so now on the first parade you were in, is it my understanding that you didn't throw candy, you threw sweet potatoes?
We threw sweet potatoes. We rode in the back of a pickup truck. I wore my sister's 1964 prom dress, which was a size 7, which I never was. And we rode, there were 4 of us, we rode in the back of a pickup truck and threw sweet potatoes. We had a hand-lettered cardboard sign that my girlfriend misspelled potato.
Like
put the E on it, put the customary Dan Quayle E on potato, and we just threw sweet potatoes. And the parade was on St. Patrick's Day at that time, and it was on the day of St. Patrick, which was I think a random Wednesday or Thursday, and 5 o'clock traffic. We went from one bar to another through downtown Jackson in 5 o'clock traffic. The streets weren't blocked. There was nobody watching. Nobody knew we were a parade, and we're just and every once in a while throwing a sweet potato at them, which did little to clarify the issue for them.
How did the momentum start?
Well, it was the most fun I ever had in my life. And somebody said to me when I was very young that you should do what makes your heart sing and the money will follow. And I'll tell the first time in 1982 that I rode in the back of that pickup truck, I did say out loud, somebody will pay me to do this. And here we are. As far as I know, I am the world's only full-time professional sweet potato queen. And,
I want to ask
just doing it every year, and people, you know, just kept coming.
It just kept building. I want to come back to something. You mentioned your father, and as I was doing my research, I noticed you mentioned your father quite a bit.
Lots of daddy stories.
Tell me about your dad.
He was the funniest person that ever lived. He really was. And I grew up in Attala County, Mississippi, in Ethel, Mississippi to be exact, which is a suburb of Kosciuszko, if that helps. Oprah is also from Kosciuszko, but we never met.
Okay.
She doesn't hang out.
So Dad had a great sense of humor.
Great sense of humor.
So you must have gotten some of that from Dad. Were you a funny child growing up? I mean, were you humorous?
We're a funny family.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I was always wittiest and, you know.
Class clown type.
Yeah. But I wanted, you know, I was not happy about it because I wanted to be 5'2", long red hair, green eyes, large breasts, little feet, and be able to sing. That was what I wanted. I'm 6'1",
right.
you know. None of that worked out. And you know, my hair, I've not paid somebody to dye. This is not even my hair. This is, you know, this is my travel hair, as I call it, you know, because it will just stay right on there.
That's nice.
We love big hair in the South. You
That's
know.
right. That's right.
And because it makes our butts look smaller. Trade secret.
I love it. I love it. What did you do before you were a sweet potato queen? What kind of career did you have?
Well, I started out. I worked in the credit department at Sears, which was not entertaining at all. But then I was a trainer at the YMCA for a number of years. So I've never actually worked. The Y was great. I loved the YMCA and had a great time because people just came to play.
Yeah.
So I'm your girl for that.
Your first book. Tell me about how that came about.
It was complete accident. I had written for 3 different newspapers as a stringer, which means, of course, for no money, or very little money. And I worked full-time for the Y and wrote for those 3 papers. I was divorced from the Antichrist at that time and raising my daughter by myself, and very inconvenient for me. My mother had a stroke and moved in with me so I could take care of her. So I was doing all of that and was also $30,000 in debt from the aforementioned Antichrist. And
that being the first husband.
No, he was actually number 2.
Oh, he was just
But number 1 was a very nice man, but he loved cashmere socks and racing tires, but especially liked for them to be in my name. And I learned real slow but real good. And but so I was doing all of these things to keep our heads above water, and one of the papers that I wrote for changed hands, and the new people that came in dropped my story with no warning. And I was completely undone, and the other sweet potato queens in my personal group, all of whom are incredibly accomplished women and or heiresses, some are both. It's an annoying group, but they're going, you know, what do you care? What do they pay you, $300 a month? And I said, it's my light bill. You know, I had everything so compartmentalized of what I had to do. It was a very big deal to me. And so it was really only trying to replace the $300 a month that I lost that I ever pursued anything. I was completely happy doing what I was doing because I was successful to the level that I mean, I have no ambition, never have. I mean, I was just fine, the lights are on, yay. And so it was just to keep our heads above water. That was the only ambition that I had. So that was what prompted me to pursue something else. And
so you started writing the book, and where did the material come from?
Life.
Life?
Just my life.
The sweet potato.
Also everybody else's. If you tell me anything, you need to be careful because I will put it in a book.
The Sweet Potato Queen's Book of Love. So if I sit down and read it, what am I going to learn?
You will laugh out loud, or I will personally refund your money. That's the best guarantee I can offer. And also recommend a therapist for you. If you don't laugh out loud, there's something bad wrong with you.
What are readers going to find in there? What kind of advice do you get?
Well, the best advice, actually the only advice that my grandfather ever gave us, is the best advice in the world that I've heard to date. And he never said be good or be sweet or be careful. He said, be particular. And if you think about it, it pretty much covers it. If you just do that, if that's all you do in life, if that's all you get from me, I have served you well. Because the times in my life that I did not follow that advice stick out pretty glaringly, as in husband number 2.
Are there any sweet potato kings?
No, they're not. They're spud studs.
Spud studs?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a matriarchy, definitely, yes. And, no, I rule with an iron fist.
What do you have to do to be a spud stud?
Whatever I say. Whenever I say it, as fast as you can with a big grin on your face. Other than that, I don't care what you do. That's the only rule we have in the whole queendom. No wonder there's so many sweet potato queens, right? It's very simple.
So take me back here for a second, though. You sit down and you write this advice, the Sweet Potato Queen's Book of Love, and a lot of people want to write books. A lot of people write books. Not many people get published. How'd you get published so quickly?
It was, I had gone to see Joanne Pritchard Morris, the wife at the time, now widow of Willie Morris, one of our most revered Southern writers. And Joanne at that time was the chief editor at the University Press of Mississippi. And I went to her with the thought in mind of publishing a collection of the stories that I had already written for these assorted newspapers, just because I thought that would be very easy, and I am satanically lazy. And so, and in the course of that conversation, I just happened to I'd heard somewhere that book publishers are never interested in just one book. They always want to, what's your next thing? Mm-hmm. And so, just to make it sound like I had a lot of ideas for books, which I did not, I said, well, I'd also kind of like to write this thing called the Sweet Potato Queen's Book of Love, and told her a little bit about what I made up my thoughts about that. And she liked the idea, but she thought it was a little too spicy for the University Press. But about 9 months later, literally, she did want to do the collection that I proposed to her, but she sent me home with instructions of what I should personally do. I mean, I just hauled in everything I'd ever written to her office, here, make a book. And, but she said, you need to go home with this, and it was very detailed instructions of what I should personally do with all these stories that I had no idea what she was talking about. And I knew when I left there that I was not going to do it, which I did not. But 9 months later, she called, and all I could think of when I knew that it was her on the phone was, oh my God, she wants that book, and I've done nothing. No, there's nothing. And so I was somewhat mortified at that, but luckily for me, she had left the University Press and was acquiring for Random House. And so she said that she had told them about the Sweet Potato Queen's Book of Love, and they wanted to see a proposal. And all I could think of was, thank God it wasn't something I was supposed to have already done. And so I didn't know how to write a book proposal, so she helped me do that. And she bound it, and it looked like a real book. She put pictures in it and all this, and she took it to New York and lost it the night before the meeting with Random House. And so she called and left this frantic, breathless message, that it's on a train, I don't know where it is. And so I had to fax to her hotel room in the middle of a tornado, literally. Had to go out, because who had a fax machine had to go somewhere, and sent the 50 pages. So she went to the meeting, not with the professionally bound book with the photographs and everything, but with 50 crappy curled up pieces of fax paper, and knowing Joanne as I do now, I'm quite certain they were liberally coated with cigarette butts and red wine stains, and here's my book proposal. But they loved it and gave me a 2-book deal based on that. Wow. And so it's, when people ask me now, as they do, how do you get a book published? I say, well, I can really only speak from my own personal experience, and that is go home and wait for them to call and ask for it. That's what I did. I have no idea how it happened.
I guess they say, though, oftentimes that luck is nothing more than when preparation and timing come together. So obviously,
it's just luck.
you don't buy into that, right? It's just luck.
It was pure luck.
Just pure luck. But obviously, you had to have something. I mean, you weren't "quote unquote" a one-hit wonder. I mean, things took off from there. So what's been the key to that success?
Well, I'm funny. I just am, and through no fault or credit to myself, that's just what comes out, and that's what I got. And I grew up in the South, going to Sunday school, and always hated that parable of the talents. That some got more than others, but everybody got at least one. And you should not hide your light under a bushel. And because I wanted to be able to sing, and I didn't get that talent. I had no idea what my talent was, and I didn't know what my light was, let alone my bushel. But it did unfold for me that I'm funny and I can put it down on paper. And a good friend of mine, actually, that I dedicated the first book to, Beth Jones, was an English professor at Millsaps, which is a very respected liberal arts college in Jackson. And she read some of my stories from the early works that I did, and she said, "You really should do something with this. You have a voice." And I didn't even know what that meant. And I said, "Well, thank you, but what does that mean?" And she said, "A voice means that when somebody reads your work, they know that who wrote it. They can tell. It's, you know, it's readily identifiable." And she said, most people, writers who spend their whole lives trying to find a voice, and they never find it, and you just have it. And so, thank you, God.
Is there a message that goes through your writing? I mean, obviously you want to be funny, but is there an underlying message you want to get across?
Yes.
What is that?
That it's the power of play in our lives, that the importance of play in our lives cannot be overstated. Life is hard on a good day, I don't care who you are. And the dressing up funny and acting stupid like we do makes it possible to step outside yourself for a little while and become somebody else that doesn't have a worthless ex-husband or a child in therapy or breast cancer, whatever you're dealing with. And it makes you a little bit stronger to go back and tote that load when you have to. And in my experience, the load will be there when you go back. Nobody's going to come get it while you're gone playing. And so it is a profound spiritual experience. It really is. We have a parade every year in Jackson, Mississippi, the last weekend in March. It's called the Zippity Doo-Dah Parade. And if you've read the Book of Love, you know Zippity Doo-Dah does figure prominently in that book, and you just have to have to read it.
Leave it at that.
But it's a fundraiser for our children's hospital, Larry Batson Hospital for Children, which is the only hospital in the state of Mississippi where any child can be treated regardless of ability to pay. And so we raise money every year. The whole weekend is dedicated to raising money for the Children's Hospital. And I've made myself available now to the entire Children's Miracle Network. And any member hospital that will pay my way there, I'll go and speak, waive my speaker's fee, and do a fundraiser for them. This crown that you see here, I have these made. Of course, mine is much larger than this. This one is just to give away to charity. No, Larry Verba in New York City, who makes all the jewelry for the Metropolitan Opera, does all the Broadway shows. If you've seen Wicked, he did all that. Makes these for me, and so I will donate one of these to the event, and they'll raffle it or auction it, depending to raise money for it. And so, you know, I think it's important to have a good time yourself, but it's also important to remember other people. And the same thing with your talent. It's important to use your talent for your own benefit, but it also needs to benefit others. That's why we're here. We are our brother's keeper.
Yeah. Curious to go back on something here, Sick, talking about having fun and being playful and all. Why do you think as a society, why have we gotten to a point where we take ourselves so seriously?
I do not know, but I'm not burdened with that.
Yeah, you're not going to worry about it.
I'm the antidote for that, yeah. I'm sorry for those people, but I didn't get that.
Yeah. Let's talk about a couple of your books. Tell us a little bit about them, because it's absolutely, the titles are fabulous. The Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Men. All right, give me a couple of key...
Guide to Men, subtitled, Every Man I Love is Either Married, Gay, or Dead. That was my experience for very many years, and it is shared by a large segment of the female population. It's until I did find the cutest boy in the world.
A spud stud.
He is the ultimate spud stud, and so third time was charm. So we don't know how long we've been married. We got married on New Year's Eve. We forget, but we think maybe 9 years, but we're not sure.
So, what does a sweet potato queen look for in a man?
Well, like I said, a spud stud is one, you know, who will do whatever you say, whenever you say. A number of years ago, a friend of ours in Jackson, Mississippi, was Liddy Henley Caldwell. She was actually the mother of Beth Henley, the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright from Jackson. But Miss Liddy said there are 5 men that you must have in your life at all times in order to be reasonably happy. That you've got to have one to talk to, one to dance with, one who can fix things, one who can pay for things, and one to have great sex with. And the good news is that all but one of those can be gay. So it does expand the pool considerably.
The next book title I thought was
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I won't delve too deep into that. The Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Raising Children for Fun and Profit.
Yes, if you've ever had any or known any, you know it's neither. It's a cruel joke.
So you have a daughter?
Might as well laugh though.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a daughter. She is 23, and the cover of that book is my own personal daughter when she was 9 months old, and hopefully she is through posing naked in bowls. And, but the only thing photoshopped on that photograph was the bowl was actually white, not green. But she did have that little tiara stuck on her little bald head, and the pearls in her 4 teeth, and it's my favorite picture. But when I first asked her about using that picture on the cover of the book, you would have thought that I had asked her to pose naked in a bowl today. And so I waited a year or so and until the book was actually coming out, and I said, honey, I just beg you to reconsider. This is the cover of this book. She said, oh, I'd love to be on there, as if she'd never said anything otherwise. So you've had teenagers, I'm assuming?
No.
Oh, you had that to look forward to. I'm so sorry.
I'm a 10-year-old.
Yes, you need to read that book soon and often.
What's your daughter doing now?
She is in her 2nd year of law school, and doing very well.
Okay.
Doing very well.
And I suppose she's a Sweet Potato Queen too.
So she started out. She's ridden in the parade every year since she could sit up. She rode in the back of the pickup truck that pulled our float, and then she graduated to a convertible, and she's the head of the Tater Tots. And then now they've graduated from the convertible and they march, and you know. But no, people ask all the time, because there are several daughters in the group, and people will say, you know, well, when are you going to let the girls ride on the float? I'm going, when they can build their own damn float. You know?
Tell me about the book American Thighs.
Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Preserving Your Assets. Yes, it's about getting older, which that's part of the travel hair that, you know, one of the worst parts about getting older, not that I found any of the good parts, is giving up the long hair. You know, there's really no way to let somebody, a guy, know so emphatically and distinctly that you're not happy with him is when you're young and got all that hair to sling around. And so this will stay on for some pretty good tossing. As a matter of fact, I was honored to, a year or so ago, to speak to 8,000 sailors and their families on board the CVN-77, the USS George H.W. Bush aircraft carrier. And so I spoke, and then and so I had the travel hair on when I was speaking, because that's always part of the deal. And then later I had taken it off, and then later they wanted to take pictures on the flight deck, and I forgot that I had the hair on, and so and you know, we're going 20 knots, and so the hair is like, but it stayed on. So,
now, I also know that there's a Sweet Potato Queen's cookbook out there.
Sweet Potato Queen's big, can we say ass? Cookbook?
Well, you just
and
did.
financial
I don't know.
planner. Sweet Potato Queen's Big Ass Cookbook and financial planner. And when it first came out, they wanted it to be, if you're just called a cookbook, it goes in that genre, and they didn't want it to be, the publishers didn't want it to be in the cookbook. They want it to be, you know, in humor. So they said, call it cookbook and something. And my first suggestion was cookbook and catechism, and that terrified them. And so I said, okay, financial planner, and they went with that. But my financial plan was that my daddy would live forever, and I had no fallback position. It doesn't work out. Make another plan.
Give me a couple of Sweet Potato Queen recipes.
Ooh, well, my favorite recipe, which is in that cookbook, and also it came from the Book of Love, is chocolate stuff. It's my favorite all-time recipe. I don't care what is happening to you in your life. There's nothing so bad that this won't make it better.
Okay.
And it's 2 eggs and a cup of sugar and a half a cup of flour, a stick of butter, and 2 tablespoons of Hershey's cocoa in the brown box, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a running over teaspoon of vanilla. And you stir all that up together, bake it in a loaf pan, float the loaf pan in a pan of water for about 50 minutes at 300 degrees, and it is the best thing ever in the history of the entire world, living or dead. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. What is pig candy?
Pig candy. Okay, second best thing. The basic food groups in the sweet potato queendom are sweet, salty, fried, and au gratin. But pig candy, you take bacon and cover it with dark brown sugar, always dark brown sugar. I don't even know why they make light brown sugar. It's an abomination. And chopped pecans, and you bake it, and you will ascend directly unto heaven. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little bit short on time, but there's a Broadway musical about
Yes.
sweet potato queens in the works?
In the works. That has always been my dream for it. And Melissa Manchester is writing the music. Sharon Vaughn is writing the lyrics. Sharon's first number one song was My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys. And she's written about 9,000 number ones since then. And Rupert Holmes is writing the book of the play. Rupert wrote The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which is the only show in the history of Broadway to win he won every single Tony there is. So very excited about that.
Well, very best of luck to you on
Thank
that.
you.
If someone wants to become a sweet potato queen, how do you do it?
Just ask me.
Just ask you,
Yep.
and how do you?
You can email me.
Email you.
The website is sweetpotatoqueens.com, and I really emphasize the queens.com because one queen is a porn site, not us.
Okay, so queens with an S then.
People will say, you know, I went to your website and there's naked people with horses on there, and I'm going, you know, we don't have any horses.
Okay. And you can just.
And Facebook, I'm all over Facebook,
Okay.
Twitter, all of that. They make me do everything.
And that's the same way that you establish a chapter and a sweet
Yes,
potato queen
anybody,
chapter.
anybody can be. There's only one rule: whatever I say, whenever I say it, fast as you can with a big grin on your face. Other than that, don't care what you do.
You're the total boss of the sweet
Absolutely.
potato queens. What you say goes.
Yep.
What's coming down the pipeline next besides the Broadway musical?
I have a new book coming out this spring in March, and the name of that is Fat is the New 30. The Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Coping with the Crappy Parts of Life.
Jill Conner Browne, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks
Best
for
of
having
luck
me.
with the new book. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck with the Broadway play. Sweet Potato Queens with an S, okay? .com. You find out more about being a sweet potato queen, find out more about Jill Conner Browne. Thank you so very much for watching. And by the way, if you'd like to find out a little bit more about us, see some of our past episodes, you can do so online at WSRE.org/conversations. Nowhere near as exciting as Sweet Potato Queens, but hopefully you'll come see us. I'm Jeff Weeks. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Take good care of yourself. We'll see you soon.
Support for this program is provided in part by these corporate sponsors. And by viewers like you.